Hey everybody, I am starting this video inside today, and I just wanted to show you some of the plants, that were out in the greenhouse. Let's take a look here. I've got some lettuce leaf basil, buckbee's new. I've got some, let's see, this is thyme. This is a black cherry heirloom tomato and also black cherry heirloom tomato. These were done from seed from Dale. Thank you very much, Dale. All of the seeds that I planted of all of the tomatoes, the ones bought from Baker Creek, Seed Saver Exchange, and Lowe's, compared with yours, all of yours sprouted. All of yours sprouted and grew faster and stronger and better than the store-bought seeds, than the seeds bought online. So thank you very much for that. I've actually been giving away some of the buckbee's new because all of them sprouted, and I've just got way too many right now. Or I should say, I did have way too many. Let's continue here just a little bit. Again, black cherry. I've got a Chelsea watermelon right there. A Matt's wild cherry, not doing so well. A Tigger melon, and this is some sage right here, and then I have a zinnia from Maddie. Now, just for information purposes, here, Kansas in the springtime can be very disastrous when it comes to wind. 2 years ago, I believe, I had one of those greenhouses. Actually, the shelf in my current greenhouse is what remains of that. I had a one of those greenhouses that had the plastic covers that you could put inside your house. Perfectly fine day. I'd wheeled it outside to get a little bit of sun, went to the grocery store, and came back and saw that half the plants were down the street. We had a wind gust of about 40 to 50 miles per hour, and it just totally had destroyed my garden that year. I had exotic cucumbers. I had those melons, those big red melons from Nicaragua. I don't even remember what they were called. Casa banana melons that were growing awesomely. And I was able to save a few of the plants, planted about in the garden, and then we had a freak frost like at the beginning of May. So I lost those too, even after the hours of spending fixing that. But I was able to put everything back in the garage that was in the greenhouse. Let's take a look here. Yesterday, we had sustained winds at 40 miles per hour all day long, with wind gusts of 60 miles per hour, 63 miles per hour actually, I guess is what it said. I have no idea where this panel is. I have looked in the neighbors' backyards. No clue. I have no idea where that panel is, and I have no idea where this panel is. I do know where that panel is. I do know where that panel is, and I do know where this panel is, even though it is broken up quite a bit. I've actually saved all my... and some of these actually were blown off, and I put them on yesterday. I tried to, and then I just gave up after a while. Everything that I had stacked up in here has blown around. I had plant covers, like milk cartons and plastic bottles that I had on my plants. Those all blew away. I had stuck those in here yesterday, and then the walls blew off and they blew out into the yard. So I've got to go clean that up. And to top it all off, it also got down to below freezing last night. Not for very long, just for a little bit of time, but anyway, take a look here. Now, the lettuce, the asparagus, the spinach, and these two tomato plants actually did pretty well. I probably didn't need to tarp the garden, but like I said, everything was blowing away. Unfortunately, when I tarped the garden, the wind was still blowing at about probably 50 miles per hour. So even though I protected it from the cold, I also ended up with some fairly badly bent and snapped tomato plants just because the tarp was going up and down and up and down and up and down with the wind. So, thought I had extra plants. Kind of wish I had some of the ones I gave away back already. That's okay. What I have mostly left are the black cherry tomatoes, and I have several of those planted already that are in good shape still. I don't want necessarily to have an entire crop of black cherry tomatoes because I want to make a lot of spaghetti sauce. I want to make a lot of sorry, I also have a cold and allergies that are going along with all of this wind and everything. I do have some recipes that require that you just leave the skin on of tomatoes, so if the black cherry tomatoes produce a big crop, I should be okay. But I really want some larger sized tomatoes if I can get them. And I may end up going to put all of the buckbees new in the places where some of those had snapped off, and then going to Lowe's or something and getting some replacement plants. It seems like something like this happens about every year. Not necessarily the frost or the wind. That happened 2 years ago. Last year, you know, the kids went through the garden with a hoe, thinking they were taking out weeds, and ended up chopping up quite a bit of the plants in there. I've had the dogs dig up plants. I've had too much rain and the plants floated away. That's Kansas. That's Kansas pretty much. This is the first time I've actually had the greenhouse blow apart so much that I've lost pieces completely. But looking at the neighbor's roof, I don't know, they've got some pretty major roof damage over there. There was a liquor store the other side of town that had the roof blow off. There are the fences. Let's see. Let me see if I can get up here and just show you. There are fences that have only been here a couple years, maybe 5 or 6 years total, that are blown down. There's one over there, and there's one back over there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Here's some shingles from the neighbors. So a pretty major storm. Good news is, again, even though the 10-day forecast before said no freezing, it looks like everything's going to be in the 40s at night and 50s at night from now on through the rest of the month, looking at the long-range forecast. So I think I can move the plants that I rescued to the inside back outside again. The rest of them are in the garage, the orange trees in the garage. I'm going to plant that out here in a couple of days, actually. So anyway, that's the way things are going. Not too well. I got some cleanup to do today. I'm going to the hardware store to get some replacement plexiglass and some more adhesive caulk. Yeah, I hadn't done the entire greenhouse yet with adhesive caulk, just some of it, and really it's about half and half. You can see this one here had adhesive caulk on it, and it blew off. The majority of the ones that have stayed do not have adhesive caulk on them. I've had a couple with and a couple without blow off, and so anyway, that's it. Hope you guys are having a good weekend, and we'll catch you later sometime.